After the Cold War ended in 1991, America began to export its own brand of democracy to the world. Bill Clinton, then U.S. President, said, "The internal affairs of any country in any remote corner of the world are related to the national security of the United States." In pursuit of its own interests, America began to manipulate protests, demonstrations, unrest, and civil wars all around the world. It directly invaded other sovereign countries. Data shows that in the 21st century, U.S. participation in confrontation and conflict exceeds Cold War levels. The negative impact of U.S. involvement is more acute today than during the Cold War. Since the dawn of the new century, America has increasingly used violence to force other countries into submission. The export of American-style democracy puts the world in great danger. From 1979 to 2020, the U.S. was involved in more confrontation and conflict than any other country during this period. At its peak, from 2009 to 2013, the proportion of U.S. participation in confrontation and conflict topped 24%. The U.S. has maintained at least 20% involvement in confrontation since 2009. In 2020, this exceeded 22%. Although the Afghanistan War and the Iraq War were launched in 2001 and 2003, there was another notable increase in 2007. This occurred in parallel with the U.S. financial crisis. Since then, the U.S. has become embroiled in turmoil in the Middle East. Provoked confrontation between countries in Eastern Europe and Russia, and manipulated separatist forces in Hong Kong and Taiwan. These operations were all conducted under the guise of democracy or freedom. Yet they failed to provide either prosperity or development. Data show that the amount of U.S. participation in the events of confrontation and conflict increased from 2005 and peaked at 2017, supported by 972.3 thousand pieces of information. In 2020, U.S. participation in the events of confrontation and conflict still accounted for 556.2 thousand pieces of information. By analyzing the types of events, disapprove and fight rank the highest among the types of U.S. participation in confrontation and conflict. Since 2003, events related to fight exceed 20%, while events related to coerce exceed 17% since 2009. No other country has had such a negative impact on global security as America. Big data has also analyzed the conflict scale of U.S. participation in confrontation and conflict. It shows that conflict scale has grown since 1997. And the relationship between America and other countries is more negative than the post-Cold War era. The data has spoken. The export of American-style democracy is disrupting the world order. amid the upheaval, chaos, and displaced citizenry. The U.S. has gained access to oil, minerals, other resources, and market control. U.S. subversion is wielded in the name of democracy. It has destroyed sovereignty and ignored the rights of normal people. These actions undermine the most basic operating rules of modern society. But the U.S. has forgotten one critical characteristic of human nature. People will never surrender to any arrogant and aggressive strength.